in the tour bus. I call it the tour bus, but yeah, I had to make a trip. Y'all know about the just shoot me now state of my life. I'm kidding. I exaggerate. Jessica's daughter is in this national cheerleading competition in Orlando, so I agreed to drive her and her buddy and the crew. And AJ, I got cats, I got dogs, and either any of them may make an appearance on the show here today. This is our first chance testing out the road signal with our new video setup. So it's pretty simplistic today. I don't have anything fancy for y'all. Didn't have time to get outside or go anywhere exotic. But as the rest of the week rolls on, and maybe a couple of days next week, we'll take it to some fun places. Some warmer places. I got here, AJ. I've been running around in a T-shirt and shorts today. It's crazy.
I'm kind of jealous right now.
It was 72 here when we got here. It was cold when we got up this morning. I drove about halfway down last night. There's a really great place to stop about halfway. It's actually designed for RVers just to pull in, plug up, sleep, and keep moving. And always hit that spot. So we hit that last night and drove on in here this morning. But I was frantically testing out this new setup to see if it was going to work. So here we are. So if you want to see a boring dude just standing around in his RV in his kitchen, is there anything you want to see in the background, AJ? I've been trying to clean up in here.
Well,
I moved the cat tree. Later I'll show you there's a giant tree where the cat sleeps, and he's up there right now. I had to move him out of the shot.
Well, I do have to admit, you do look like a suburban dad that's on vacation right now.
I got the golf
leg.
shirt. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hadn't done anything. They're over there having fun at the parks. I don't want any part of many people. If you've listened to the show, theme parks, crowds, lines. This is hell on earth to me. I don't want to be anywhere near Orlando, Florida, ever. It's not a vacation. I don't like cruises. That's just not my jam. If y'all love it, y'all love it. I got friends that come here 5 times a year, but I do not like this place, and I don't know anything about cheerleading, and here I am doing both.
You're doing both right now in an RV with a bunch of cats. That is.
So my life has changed. My life has changed. I got two. I got Max and Leo. I can't tell which one that is. They're twin brothers basically, and one of them is PTFO. You know what that stands for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Up on the top of the thing. The other one likes to hide in the back. He'll get in here, go straight to the back, and that's his place. He's kind of a loner. He's a rebel. He likes to do his own thing. So, and then the two dogs any minute now are going to bark at somebody walking by, and so y'all get to be entertained with that. But really, I wanted to test out the satellite uplink, see how that works. And is it looking okay?
Yeah, it's looking good. It's amazing how technology works. When you're in your own kind of like structure, your own home. We were having the issue there, but then you get somewhat out of your element a little bit. It's just like it's working good. It looks good.
Well, the truth is, Starlink has a better signal than my sucky internet provider where I live. They just do, and I'm stuck with one company because that's the trade-off. There's a lot of huge advantages to living in in rural areas or areas away from too close to town, until you need things like internet, and then you're stuck with like and Leroy's internet company provider service, and it sucks. Completely sucks.
No, but it looks good.
Maybe one day.
Well, maybe one day, you can kind of do a tour of your shindig. I mean, I've been.
I might show y'all around. I might do that later in the show.
Yeah.
I've only had this is a one camera shoot today. As I go along, I'll add more cameras because it requires routing wires and doing some stuff I need to do, which I'll eventually get done. And I want to put one up on the roof so you can see outside.
Yeah.
Then we can like spy on people that are walking by live on the radio. They'll have no idea that they're being talked about by thousands of people as they wander through an RV park, out crapping their dogs and whatever people do in an RV park.
Yeah. But I think this is a great new kind of like feature that you can all, because I know you do a lot of road trips, and now as you get older and stuff like that, especially when you go out west, and a lot of times it's so fascinating because we hear those stories, we hear the audio portion of it, and of course I see some pictures, and you do your videos, or but it's also when you do it in real time, it just takes it to a whole nother level.
Well, that sort of, we're working on it now. There's so much involved, but we're trying to build out another one of those trips this year where all y'all come with me. We're going to take the cameras, and when we talk to people, when I meet these crazy cowboys and these hippies out in the mountains and all these places that we tend to go, and some of the beautiful landscapes. It's hard to describe it just on the radio, and now, there are cameras on everything. So we're going to take, if all this works, this is sort of a beta test this next few days, so that we can bounce around and see how portable we can make things. And yeah, we're going to do that again this summer. We're super excited about it, and hope y'all will come along with us.
I just heard that.
Did you hear that cat? I just looked at somebody. He's like, hold it down. I'm trying to sleep. It's the middle of the day. That's when the cats will like to hang around here and sleep, and then get up all night and raise hell. That's their job, I guess. So whatever. All right, you want to do some regular old news? Did you say storm restoration was right out of the gate? Because I got to make fun of my man, Greg Nelson. Did you see that little, everybody on the internet now are making these little cartoon characters of themselves with AI. I don't know what the program is. Some of them are stunningly realistic, but also, cartoonish. And in addition to Crocker Moving Services taking the television advertisement that AJ and I did, a cat just walked between my legs. I'm just I just felt something fuzzy against my leg. It was a cat. But anyway, yeah. So they made an animated version of that same commercial, which AJ and I thought was cute. And I haven't posted that or anything, but Greg Nelson, he's become our buddy, and he came to our Christmas event, and we took a photo together. And he has had that animated. AJ, I was laughing so hard. He sent it to me this morning. I was still driving and couldn't look at it. And then I looked at it when I got back and I went, that's not me. That's old Russell Crowe. That's like Russell Crowe's gotten old and fat. That's exactly. But I'll post it. He said, if you want to post it, post it. I haven't done one of those things. I don't get as into that as everybody else. But have you done one?
I have not done one because I'll be afraid somebody's going to try to steal my information.
Me too. I think it's the CIA setting people up for some kind of identity theft.
Yeah.
For sure.
At first, I was like, I could kind of see it a little bit. It's almost like you and him are brothers. But then you also have like one of our old colleagues look. You almost have like a mixture of like Matt Murphy.
Oh Lord, I want to go. That's it tonight, folks. There's your radio. So don't ever tell Matt you said that. No, it's pretty. It looks like, I think it looks a lot like Greg though. He had his hockey jersey on that night, and when he came, and so that's how we're dressed like we were there. It's just funny. I think it's hilarious. So. Anyway, but he's a good dude, and if you want to put somebody on your roof, if you've got a roof project and you got anything that you need to get done, y'all let Greg come take care of it. Not only is he going to do the project right and get it done correctly, and that's so important. I mean, I get it. People get in a jam. We have a storm come through, and everybody's looking for a roofer if you have an emergency and you don't know who to call. And then these 5 guys just drive down the street, and you think, oh, Lord have mercy, thank you, hallelujah, what a blessing. But these folks are trolling for business. You don't know how long they've been doing anything in that business. There are cases where sometimes people get taken where they'll just take off with your money. So, look, jot this number down. I'm going to give you Greg's number here in a minute, and go to it if you need anything with storm restoration roofing. These guys will do it right. Then you got the number in an emergency situation. Now, of course, the other scenario is your roof gets old and it starts to fade and age out, and you got to do something about that. That's where storm restoration comes in as well. And they've got finance companies that can help you with your deductibles. It's everything you need. And Greg, again, I love a family business. Several of our sponsors here on the show every single day, 2 generations, and they are more than happy to take care of anything you need when it comes to all that roof stuff. Y'all, it's Storm Restoration Roofing. Here's that phone number, 205-542-3531. By the way, Greg implores me to tell you that just call him first. He's not trying to put you in a spot or get in between you and your insurance company. But sometimes insurance companies, and you got to understand their perspective too, they don't want to write checks they don't have to write. And unless you establish a proper claim, there are a lot of parts of your policy that will let them not have to honor what you think you deserve for your roof claim. And so, but if you've got your expert looking at it, somebody they know and trust and work with to demonstrate that the claim's legitimate, this is what happened, this is how it happened, this is the damage, this is when it happened, and you've got all that buttoned up, Greg will do that for you. It's almost like having your own adjuster to work with their adjuster so everybody's happy in the end, and you get your roof fixed. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Again, that number, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531. Well, it was a heck of a day. Let me just start with we'll start in Minnesota. been a lot of headlines today. You get a sense there are going to be more as we move through the afternoon. There's just afternoons are usually news busy, and that's why our format of our show is more breaking news oriented. It's the latest. It's the stuff you'll be talking about tomorrow. And today we're chasing our tail because there's so much going on. So Tom Homan came out today, and I got to say, it's not, I hate to just be a cheerleader for Trump sometimes, but this guy is such an authority. He's such an adult. He's so experienced, and I'm telling you, nowadays, you can't overestimate competence. He's just completely competent in his field. No one, not the governor of Minnesota, the mayor of that city, not even Trump, nobody in that government can speak to the issue of illegal immigration like Tom Homan. It's been his life. And so he goes to Minnesota, and he came out today with an approach to how to de-escalate things. Trump is both taking the high road with his team out of that chaotic situation that was manufactured for the sake of chaos itself. And rather than play that game with the American left and continue to have their people exposed and create optics that always turn on the good guys whenever something bad happens, he's got Homan in there to work something out so that the enforcement can still happen, but we don't have this kind of exposure with our agents. And so what they've talked about today, and I'll try to give you some basic bullet points by now you've heard, that the officials in the state of Minnesota, a bunch of sheriffs that control the jails and others, even people at the prison system, are now going to work more directly with Homeland Security to pick these people up when they've been picked up for other crimes. Again, states don't enforce immigration, and they don't have to. Not only do they not have to, they're not allowed to. So you've got a separation of laws. And so states have to report, they have to investigate and prosecute DUIs and assaults and rapes and murders and things, robberies, things that happen according to state law. But the two of those come together when you've also got an illegal immigrant involved in that situation. And so the state apparently has agreed to, if Homan will de-escalate, if Homan will draw down the presence of the folks from Border Patrol and ICE in Minnesota and really Minneapolis, then they will work with him and hand over the people that they've already arrested that are accused of crimes, and that works for everybody. That's all the Trump administration's been asking for the whole time. We didn't need to go through any of this stuff. It's what other jurisdictions are doing all over the country, with the exception of places where you have losers to represent the government, like Chicago and other places. It's the right thing to do for the citizens there, for the people that live in that town, actually for the immigrants themselves. Rather than having to send 10 people to kick a door and grab somebody that's a threat to society and needs to be removed from the country, which is the law, it's a duty that this agency has. They can peacefully transfer them over, and you and I never see the TV shot. We don't need to see it. We just need them gone. We need them to do their jobs. So they're going to de-escalate. I keep using that word. They're going to draw down about 700 ICE agents from that area. But that still would leave about 2,000 Border Patrol, Homeland Security, ICE, all those agencies working in that area. And they've been targeted, particularly one of the impetus of the targeting was this Somali fraud ring stuff. That is a part of the immigration story. These people came here from somewhere else, and they're ripping off the taxpayers of this country through these fraud networks, and we've got to deal with that. That's a triple whammy. You've got some that are criminals, you got some that are just here illegally, and you got some that are stealing. And so all that needs to be dealt with. A just country deals with matters like that, and that's what Homan's doing. So the normal disposition of his agency in that city would be about 150 agents. When Homan says there's several reasons, he said it's not less enforcement because they're going to continue to enforce. It's just smarter than to allow these roving patrols and go out in the streets and have these unnecessary confrontation through these activists that are seeking confrontation for the camera so that they can start trouble and cause angst in this country. And not to mention put these men and women in harm's way. Homan really got to me. I'm old and cynical about things in the news, but when he spoke about the men and women that do this job today, and he did so with passion because he said to kind of paraphrase him a little bit, I wore the green uniform. I was in Border Patrol. I worked in ICE. I know this job. And these are human beings. He said the quote was, we don't hang our hearts on a hook when we go out to work every day. We understand there are children and families involved. And by the way, I believe ICE particularly has been eminently professional. I don't know how they haven't shot more people by now, considering what they've put up with. But they've shown restraint. They're getting the job done. And it's unfair to them to put them in this situation without proper police protection. And you've got no guarantees of that from the mayor and from the police chief and from the governor. But it seems as if the tone is the exact right tone. Let's get the job done, but let's not have any more bloodshed. None of us want that kind of violence, and that's apparently what they're seeking with this drawdown. It's cooperative. It's negotiated. It's you give us the bad guys, and we don't need this many people here, and we can send those folks elsewhere to do the same job. And like he said, it's been so effective. They've gotten a couple of, I forget the exact number, it's a couple of thousand criminals off the streets. Crime has gone down in Minneapolis because of this operation. And so it's been effective enough. They can redeploy to other parts of the country. These agents are needed back in their station where they're originally stationed in their homes. These agents are stationed all over the country and should be working their home areas. But we had to do this surge when all this stuff started happening in Minneapolis. So de-escalation is the right call. The Trump administration has at their disposal, they had every bit of evidence they needed to declare an insurrection in Minneapolis, send the military in, reservists in, to get that situation under control. But they didn't overreact. They didn't take the bait, and that was smart. Because when all you have is a heavy hand, you've got to use it judiciously. You can't, if that's your only option is to go in and just crush it, and then you look like the dictator they're claiming that Trump is, and he didn't do that. He was very benevolent about the whole situation, and now ICE will continue to work. Deportations will continue. Homan insisted over and over that if you're here illegally, even if you're not criminal, you're still on the radar. I mean, you're just not supposed to be in the country. They encourage people to go ahead and self-deport, and maybe that'll help, but we'll see where it goes. Just back to Homan personally for a minute. I'm almost comforted when I hear him speak. There's so many people that matriculate into powerful positions in government that have no idea what they're doing. They don't get there because of success. People fail up in government and in politics. They fail up. I can name them. I can name 100 people right now, right off the top of my head, that are not in positions where they even know what they're doing, in the bureaucracy and in the elected class as well. But Homan is one of those standouts who is passionate about it. He's an honorable man. The people that work for him are honorable. They've done a tremendous job, and they deserve this country having their backs. And that's what they demonstrated today in that news conference. Man, we got a lot to talk about. Your phone calls, too, as we roll along. 545-9950. Leland Live. Talk 99.5 back here in just a minute. Yeah, here I am just kind of dancing on the cameras with no music. I keep doing that. I can't help it. Hey, y'all, look, check this out, AJ. There's a Waffle House like 100 feet from where I'm parked right now. You know what I did for lunch?
Was that
So
you went to Waffle House?
I was the only person in there. That's rarely ever happened in my life. I was sitting up at the counter. They were so nice to me. And, dude, I was the only one in there. It was great. Got me a little lunch, did some show prep. So they got me a giant coffee to keep me up the rest of the night.
Nice.
Very little sleep on the way down here last night. By the way, with the camera here on the remote show, Jessica just commented, I don't have the YouTube pulled up to see the comments, but she said people think I have dyed my hair. What?
Really? They think you dyed your hair?
Somebody said, love the new hair color. I was like, seriously? Look at all that gray. It's softer lighting and it's real yellow in here.
Yeah.
I don't have studio lights up. I'm just using the lights in here, and I guess that plus in that studio lighting, and we're working on that. It's a project I got to do when I get back. Everybody looks like they're in a police interrogation room. We all look 20 years older and gray as we can be.
Yeah, and then on top of that too, the camera's like right up on your face in the studio.
Yeah, it's super close, and the walls are gray, and the lighting has not been adjusted yet. So if you're comparing the two shots, yes, that studio ages you 20 years.
Yeah, it does.
Even your shot, AJ, is a little bit gray like that.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, I I'm only working with the lights that are above, and then sometimes I may turn on the other light, but then it'll be like a rock star concert, and just I'll be blinded, so I can't even see.
But we have a project. We're just piecing this thing together, so we're literally going with the lights that were just already in that room. So
yeah,
maybe that's it. But hey, look at this beard. Does that look? In fact, my wife's a smartass. Have I told y'all that? She's a brilliant woman, but it's got kind of a mouth on it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Anybody got a spouse like that? So as we're heading south, we're heading to a more tropical climate. We're not going to go as far as Key West. I'll just say this in some of the travels, because I've already been there a lot, and it's just, to me, it's kind of cheesy and boring, and I just don't care. But she goes, but you could get in the Ernest Hemingway contest. I was like, what? They have a contest every year where people with gray beards, old white guys with gray beards, get in there, and there's, I think it's at Sloppy Joe's, and they put the winner on the wall. They got all the winners over the years, people that look like Ernest Hemingway, the Ernest Hemingway lookalike contest.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I didn't need that today. She goes, yeah, but your beard's getting so gray. I was like, just quit talking.
I love it. I'm just checking out some of the stuff that people are saying. Oh, there's some hater on there.
There's always some haters.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah, people are talking about your beard color, man. It's interesting.
Have you ever dyed any? Years ago, I think it was like 20 years ago, one of my buddies was doing that Just for Men beard wash stuff. He said, man, you got to do it. It just makes your beard soft and it's easier. So, I look like I had gotten off my whole beard turned red, man. I was like, I got to shave this off. I will never try anything like that again. It's just not me. It's just not my thing. I just want to get old and ugly and be happy. I don't care.
Yeah, I love it, man. Well, I mean, but I'm looking at the screen. I'm trying to look at both cameras. Yeah, you do look a lot younger now.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
I got the young filter on here. There's nothing like moving the camera back 10 feet from like where it is in that studio. In that studio is like a peephole on a door. I mean, it's like, you ever seen somebody walk up in the door and look through your peephole?
Yes.
It's a peephole camera. All right. Yeah, and I know the camera looks like it's a little tilted. I got to work on that. It's sitting on something, so we'll work out the kinks over the next day or two. All right, back here in a minute. Bottom of the hour, Leland Live. All right, y'all. Ox Foundation Solutions next up here on the show. Many of you, we all have different type houses. Some people have crawl spaces. Some people have poured walls, block walls, pillars, pylons, whatever they call them. Some of you have finished basements. Some sit on a slab. Every situation is different. What's consistent about all of them is you have to take care of that foundation. It's something, it's not a sexy topic or something you're going to be thinking about much all the time, but it's very, very important when it comes to everything in your house. It's the first thing they put down. Everything sits on it. And when it shifts, everything else shifts. If it moves, your house moves. And your house ain't supposed to move. It can cause, I've seen electrical problems from house shifts, plumbing that gets out of line and out of whack and dysfunctional. So take care of anything. If you've got subtle signs, it's smart to look for those signs ahead of time and get Ox over there to help. Now, they do all the levels of services, which means they can level your whole house or just fix a little crack that happened to appear or get water out and seal that off, dry it out. Mold removal, especially in the summertime, mold remediation is huge, especially here in the South. And then, of course, the final step, if you've gotten all these things taken care of with a crawl space, is encapsulation. It helps do two things. It keeps the mold spores and the allergens and the mildew and that sick air that can rise up from underneath your house, and it creates a barrier for that. But even in this time of the year when it's colder, it's a thermal barrier. Well, I guess that's the case in the summer too. It creates one more layer of separation between that heating and air inside your home and what's going on underneath. So you can trust Ox to do it correctly. They're just the most professional company. You'll know it when they drive up in those good-looking trucks with their uniforms coming out to do a good job for you on your foundation. Man, you can't mess around with amateurs on something that sophisticated. It's oxstrong.com, oxstrong.com. A couple other notes. The other big story so far this week has been Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie's mother. And wow, I was listening to some of the, you've got a lot of speculation, let's just put it that way, going on the internet as it tends to happen. So yesterday, the headline was TMZ claimed, and other media outlets apparently got the same ransom demand, asking for millions in crypto to be delivered to a specific account. None of that was able to be verified, but the authorities said they're looking into it. They got to look into everything. But then you've got, last night there were some reporting, people questioning the financial dealings of even Savannah Guthrie's husband, which may be completely unfair because they're in the spotlight now. And these internet sleuths believe with their keyboards they can find something that's public that'll point to a crime scene they've never been to. And that's not fair to the police, the prosecution, the potential jury pool, but it's the world we live in. So you've got all kind of speculation. And last night they started speculating, I'll just put it this way, about an extended family member, another son-in-law that may be being questioned. Well, that didn't, the authorities today acknowledged, yeah, we've questioned everybody in the family that saw her last. He was just with Savannah Guthrie's daughter the night before. And some of this could pan out and could be what's going on and what's actually happened here. But we don't have anything new. They did not schedule a news conference today. That was on purpose. I think the sheriff's become exhausted with having to give updates with no information and being asked the same questions. If you don't do this all the time, it is exasperating. And of course, they've got their hands full as a small police and sheriff's department with attention coming from all over the country. It's not just media, crazy tips coming in, manpower that has a job to do every day outside of this investigation, and then all this sort of microscope on their community. Could be a number of things. So the story's been a little bit more mum today, unless there's something that developed in the last hour that I happen to have missed. We don't know when or if they're going to get a break. There's some optimism that they believe Mrs. Guthrie could still be alive. And that's coming from some corners that also are doing some serious speculating. And then everybody else is just trying to pick apart the fragments that we know. So I think it's very, very important. I heard a very shrewd investigator today on one of the chat channels. I forget which one, but he seemed to make a lot of sense to me. It was probably Fox, one of the Fox morning shows. I was driving along listening to all this stuff, so I wasn't able to watch it. But he was talking about, they asked him about the blood on the scene, and he pointed out that a lot of elderly folks can be on blood thinners, and if you've ever been on those, I've had to take them in the past, and you are very, very prone to bleeding very easily. And in a stressful situation like that, it wouldn't be unusual, especially if there was some resistance, for a bloody nose or even a very, it doesn't mean somebody was stabbed or shot or anything like that. A busted lip, you could punch somebody in the face once of a certain age, or almost any of us really. If you're on blood thinners, your nose is going to gush and you're going to drip blood all the way out to wherever they took this woman. So it doesn't mean it's fatal. It's ominous though, and it's creepy to keep having people continue to go over it and over it. But there's something about this story that just, it sort of, I guess. And by the way, y'all jump in here if you got a theory or thought about it. We might as well discuss it like everybody else is. We all feel some connection to it. It doesn't matter about the politics of Savannah Guthrie and that network. And, your heart breaks for anybody who loves their mom and their mom is in this vulnerable position. You've got speculators online that have worked with the feds, have done investigations on a federal level. Some of them they really believe in their gut instinct based on the pattern of evidence that we have now, is it was perhaps somebody that was, I guess you'd call them an insider. Somebody that knew the layout of the house, that probably had her trust and confidence, that might have had motivation that we wouldn't understand based on relationships. And I'm telling you, you see the weirdest things, and it's already been a strange story of a celebrity having a mother that this happened to. So we'll continue to follow that. I wish there was something else. I wish there was positive news. I got to say, though, we're in the 4th day now, and it just feels grim. It just does. Unless somebody really had a plan to not only abduct her, but to care for her and keep her alive so that they could collect some ransom. It's so bizarre. And if they didn't have a plan and it was some kind of spontaneous act, and she's gone days without her heart medicine, no communication, and all these things happened, it just feels very, very ominous. So we'll continue to follow it this afternoon. If there are any other news that breaks, again, the authorities there have said they'll only update us if there's breaking news or something developing where they can update us and give us something new. Again, 545-9950 if you want to get in on the show. Y'all bring it, and we'll talk about it this afternoon. Our good friends over at Lonnie's Furniture are ready to see you if you're in the market for furniture. Even if you're not, I'm telling you, it's such a beautiful store full of beautiful things. Now, look, let's be real. There's some stuff in there you're going to walk by and go, no. But that's what happens when you've got that kind of selection. But there are going to be some things where you're going to be obsessed, and then you're going to find another one, and it's going to be hard to choose. So I always tell people, give yourself plenty of time when you're heading to Lonnie's. And some of you will have to drive a long way to get to Kimberly, Alabama, but it's worth it. To me, it's less time consuming than bouncing around town and going through traffic and parking and going in and out of these places where you may or may not see something and trying to remember what you saw where and maybe taking pictures of it and compare. There's no comparison like sitting on a couch, thinking about it, and then jumping up and going and sitting on another couch. And they've got them, Bassett, Stressless, all of these lines that you're going to know and love. Bedding department, in outside furniture. You can almost sense that it's going to warm up here in a few weeks. I don't care what that groundhog said. And be time to get back outdoors. And so they've got a beautiful line, this Green Country outdoor furniture. I've got 2 of those pieces, and I've had them for 6 years. They look brand new. They have stood the test of time so far. It's Lonnie's Furniture Company. Y'all go see them, Reggie and John and the whole team. I'd start naming people, but I don't want to leave anybody out. Exit 280 off I-65, Lonnie'sFurnitureCompany.com. Back here in just a minute. All right, 247, Leland Live, talking to 995. Let's hit the phones. I told y'all to call us. So Tom has called us. He's up first today. Tom, what's on your mind tonight, man? Tom and Calera. Hey, Jay, is Tom there?
He's up, but I guess he's not talking.
Tom, you got to talk, man. This is your chance to do it. Just hit it or quit it. Come on, man. Is he there? Tom, go ahead, buddy.
Dropped off.
I hear that echo, and then people just. You think he got nervous?
No, he's called in. He's called in before, so
he probably just didn't hear us. Remember the dude that fell asleep on us that day? He had held so long to get on the air. This is a true story. We used to have fun. You remember we used to have fun on the radio? And so this guy was on hold, and I guess he was laying down when he got on hold. And by the time we got to him, we pushed the button, and he was snoring in the background. He had fallen asleep, which was an indictment on how long people used to have to hold to get in here. He just fell asleep. And he was snoring, and we sit there and listen to him snore for like an hour.
Man, it was one of those good sleeps, too. Man,
oh,
you could tell it was a good sleep.
It's like when they bring the projector in high school, that kind of sleep, where you drool sleeping. By the way, Greg Nelson is he's getting crazy with these, what are we calling these things? These little cartoonish memes that people are making with AI online of yourself. They have taken over social media, apparently. Well, Greg has made another one, and he made one of you, AJ, you and Eric Crocker from our same event. Do you think that looks like you? Have you seen it? I just sent it to you. Did you see it?
Hold on. Let me. I have not seen it yet.
It looks like Greg Nelson for sure. It looks like Greg Nelson. And I got to say, I think this thing looks a lot like Eric Crocker. And it kind of looks like you, but you look like a celebrity, and I'm still having trouble naming the celebrity. You look like a celebrity, and it's going to come to me at some point.
I look like.
You know, he called it the roofer, the man, and the mover because it's you and Eric Crocker. What do you think, AJ?
All right, so if it almost looks like if Eric Crocker and Greg Nelson had a baby, it turned into a brother. That's what
they had a big black baby. That's just the gayest and most racial thing that's happened on this show in years. God. What did you just say? What just happened? Like. What's that? No, it's a cool picture.
No,
I
it's a good picture. I like the picture.
Who's the guy from Atlanta that makes all the films? Tyler Perry.
I don't know.
You kind of look like a muscular, manlier version of Tyler Perry.
I'm trying to get who I look like in this picture. That's interesting. You know, now I gotta get a caricature of myself. I gotta see this.
He did. We took a group shot with our wives, and he did one, and it looks great of her, but it does not look. It's not like the other one. It doesn't look like me at all. I was like, "Who's the dude you're with? Who's that guy?"
Who you been talking to? No, this is awesome. I like this. This is good.
Apparently, because I didn't know they charge for this after. Like they'll give you some freebies.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the new crack cocaine on the internet. They'll give you some freebies, and Greg said, "I'm not sending you any more." I mean, he said, "I'm not sending any more. I'm not paying for this." He goes, "I'm out of freebies." Apparently, then you script to some. You go to some subscription or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I guess so, but this is actually pretty cool. I'm liking this caricature of myself, and I was like, man, did I even have that on that day? I guess I did have some overalls.
You did. You wore overalls to that party. I remember that.
Yeah,
that's one of your looks, man. You were styling that night. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, and the thing is, I hope with all these characters, at some point, somebody's going to go missing or get in trouble with the law or be on the run, and this is the only picture they're going to have. The authorities have released this image, and it'll be your caricature from that AI thing. Not looking anything like you actually look when you're on the run. 545-9950 is the phone number if you want to get in on it. Let's go. All American Metals, by the way, bringing you the show tonight. That's my steel company. A lot of y'all have a use for a steel building. When I first built mine, I remember when it was first going up, I must have had, and I'm no joke, I must have had 10 or 15 of my neighbors just pull over off the road when it was going up to ask about the project. Who did you use? How did you design it? And I just sort of pieced mine together. I had a contractor for a while. I had a supplier. Some things got squirrely. It wasn't the easiest process in the world. The concrete, I was waiting on some county approvals, and while waiting on that, the concrete price tripled. It's just one of those projects that got stretched out. When you work with All American, let's say you've got one of these projects in the future, it's more seamless. It's streamlined because they're in charge of the whole process. You go to them and get some design work done, and from there, Once you're ready and you've approved the design, they've sent you the plans, you got your financing lined up or your money, and you're ready to go. You got your site cleared, all that stuff's done. They're going to bring you the whole building because they're going to produce the building. They're going to manufacture the parts, assemble the kit, put it on their trucks, and get it to you. It is just wonderful to have that integrated that way so it comes to you. And they take responsibility that things are going to be right because they designed the building. If everything's going to line up, the holes are going to line up, everything's going to work. It is, listen to me now, this is the company you want to use. If you're doing a pole barn, a shed, any kind of metal building, commercial projects, of course, that's the bigger part of their business, big old warehouses, retail build-outs, mini storage, residential red iron. They control the whole thing. They've got their own factories. They'll make the steel for you. They'll bend the metal. They'll bend the sheets to your color and your spec and your style and get that building done for you. They do everything but put it up, and they can arrange that for you too. It's All American Metals, aa-metal.com, aa-metal.com. Is this Greg from Pell City? What's up, Greg? How you doing tonight, man? What's up, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm having too much fun in this cold weather.
Yeah, I guess. I was like, must be a slow day for Greg. He's all over this AI thing. How'd you get to doing this?
Well, let me tell you what it is. My wife, the funniest thing, it has cracked so many people up. It's on just Chat GPT. All you do is, if you got Chat GPT, just put a photo on there and just tell them what you want it to do. But you got to spell out. It says make caricature, CARICATUE, RE caricature. Say make caricature. When I first did it, the first one I did this morning, I said, and you put whatever you want, Alabama fan, you can put roofer, you can do all this stuff. Well, when I did it, evidently it spell checked me, and when it came out, it said it was because I said 10 children, 10 grandchildren, so I was really wanting to get this thing loaded, and it said charcuterie. What is it? The board, charcuterie board? We have all the meat.
Yeah, charcuterie. It's just a big giant adult Lunchable. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to send you that picture because it is taking over my wife's internet because on her social media because it's got all my kids as little sausages.
Oh, really? Now
it's crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, what I'm saying is that after you go so far, they will want to charge you a little more, but it's not much. But man, it is a lot of fun.
Somebody said what they did was they put their picture up and said, make a caricature of me with everything you know about me. Like, because the internet's got all this info, the stuff you've uploaded, anything else. And it was stunning, the details and the things they added to that photograph. There were things they wouldn't have even thought about that were really part of their personality and their image. It's crazy.
Well, let me tell you what's weird about that. It's funny you said that because, my little toy, I've always wanted a Corvette. And if you look, I got a Corvette key hanging on that picture of you and me.
Wait a minute. I got to look at this. It snuck a Corvette reference in there.
Well, it tried to. My wife is the one that told me. She says, you got a Corvette key hanging down there. And I looked at it, and it's not. But they know I must, because I do post a lot on it. It's just
I do see that, yeah.
My wife is the one but she pulled the trigger on that for me. But the Corvette, that is. I don't ever drive it to customer's house.
Okay, now that I look at our pic, the one you did of me and you, who's this dude in the background? I just noticed there's a creepy guy with a beard over my shoulder. Who in the hell is that? Is that Ernest Hemingway? I think Ernest Hemingway stuck in my picture.
Hey, I'll have to go look at that. Anybody was in the pictures. And when I did that one with you and your wife and me and my wife, and I put what I put, we're part of the kick out of your coverage club or something.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good stuff.
I told AJ he could be in that club too. I got to meet his sweet wife. He's got a very sweet wife as well at BNI. She was at our BNI. But anyway, I got to get on some roof, fellas. I got to quit.
All right, man. He's got work to do. Thank you, Greg. There's Greg Nelson, Storm Restoration Roofing. What a great guy. It's good. He made me laugh there, AJ. I was driving down the road. I was running down the road trying to loosen my load. I had a world of trouble on my mind this morning, trying to get here and get set up. And Greg started sending me this funny stuff, and I'm cracking up all the way here, laughing at everything that he's doing to us. All right, yeah, we'll get back to the serious news here in just a minute because we still got plenty of that going on, developing stuff, breaking stuff. Your phone calls, too, as always, 545-9950. And real quick on the weather, we got a warming trend. I'm kind of trying to cheat winter for a few days here heading south. And we did this a couple of years ago, and I was like, we need to do that again. So here we are, and we had an event to wrap it around. Plus, AJ, my birthday's coming up. In addition to the anniversary of the show, now the station anniversary this year is our big blowout Jawbone Jam event. It's going to be the biggest one we've ever done, with some serious headliner bands this year in May. Details coming on that very soon. We're literally, I'm sending emails to some of the agents and managers and all the people associated with that, trying to get that organized. But yeah, you and I will have been doing this stuff 16 years in just a couple of weeks. How about that?
Man, I can't believe it.
And I won't even be home for it. I'll be off or on vacation or whatever I'm doing. So here we go. All right, one more time for our buddies at Michelson Laser Vision. I can't overstate, and I mean this as sincerely as I can express it, I can't overstate the value of LASIK to me. And I had heard this from some friends that had it done at Dr. Michelson's, and they would say, I remember one of my buddies, he goes, it'll change your life. And I thought, I really did. I thought, he's just saying that because he spent all that money. You ever do that? You get a little bit cynical about everything. I'm like, well, he did it, and now he's got to justify it. That was not true. One, it wasn't that expensive compared to how I'm able to see. I am free of lugging around glasses and contacts or worried about losing one. I used to lose contacts, especially when I rode motorcycles. The wind would catch me right in the face. Boom, contact can come loose. You get something in your eye and you rub them, and they're up in your brain somewhere. They disappear. I'd fall asleep in them. I was a terrible contact wearer, and my eyes were most likely unhealthy from all that. I got freed of that a little over 6 years ago at Michelson Laser Vision, and I'm inviting you to do the exact same thing. These are my folks that'll absolutely take care of you. It's michelsonlaservision.com, Dr. Mark Michelson, and, of course, Dr. Jennifer Michelson, and that wonderful team around them. They're so efficient, so professional, cutting-edge technology, the legendary practice, and the only place in all of Birmingham I would ever send you is Michelson Laser Vision. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Leland Live, Talking 995. Y'all stay tuned.